Well, the Grammy Awards process has been developed over 50 years, and every year it evolves. And yes, the recordings are voted on by our 13,000 Recording Academy voting members, who are actually the music creators themselves.
To participate in the voting process, you have to be a current voting member by the annual deadline, which is typically early fall. Being a voting member is a privilege. It's also a responsibility. In a lot of ways, the prestige of the Grammy Award comes from the fact that it's peer recognized. So peer recognized, it means your fellow creators, the ones who are living and loving the craft. They're the ones who determine amongst their peers who deserves to win a Grammy.
Each award cycle has a specific eligibility period or window of time during which recordings need to have been released in order to be eligible for consideration.
Submission is a really critical step in the process. Members don't sit around and determine which recording should be considered for a nomination. They can only consider what's actually been submitted. What that means is if you're a member, you should make sure that your eligible recordings are being submitted for consideration.
Well, we receive submissions all the way through the end of the summer, and we get them from Recording Academy members, but we also get them from record labels, other media companies, publishers, video production houses. They can submit entries on behalf of the artists they represent. And they do have to register with us online every year. It's really easy, it takes about 5 minutes.
Creators, that means we strongly recommend you are submitting for yourself. If you're not, it's important to know who's submitting on your behalf and that it gets in by the deadline.
Now, just a few years ago, we received about 12,000 submissions. Last year, it was almost double that. Once we receive all the submissions and verify eligibility, we actually have genre-based sorting committees. And they meet sometimes over several days. They listen to every single entry that comes in and make sure that it's placed in the right genre category.
After it's categorized properly, all those eligible recordings are sent to the members for their choice on who the nominees are.
Once we've got everything sorted, our first ballot goes out in October, and it's due back in early November. We ask voters to vote in the 4 general categories: Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist. They can also vote in additional categories in which they have musical expertise. Then Deloitte tabulates everything, sends us the results. For some categories, that's where it ends. For others, there may be an additional step of a nominations review committee, and for the craft categories, that's an entirely separate process. Once we have our nominees for each category, we send out the second and final ballot to all of our voting members. This again comes back to Deloitte, they tabulate results, and that decides who the Grammy Award winners are.
So if you're a music creator, it's important that you have an active Recording Academy membership so you can have a voice in shaping the final outcome.
When it's all said and done, the voters' decisions are revealed for the first time on the Grammy Awards.
We all have to watch live to find out who wins.